Okay, so moving on to the first battle right here. There are actually two sets that I did, and this is the first one of the first set. So we're leading with Dragonite up against a Melmetal. This is not a good matchup for us, so I'm going to try and count and hopefully catch the Rock Slide with my Metagross. Unfortunately, my opponent doesn't throw the charge move. He decides to retreat with energy. He brings out his Metagross, which is absolutely fine for me because I'm ahead on energy. I'm going to try and build up to an Earthquake and then go for a Meteor Mash. I fire off the Meteor Mash because I know he's going to shield anyway. I'm anticipating an Earthquake right here, which is why I decided to put up a shield, and it is Earthquake, so this is great for us. And I'm trying to build up to the Earthquake and go for the Earthquake this time. I really want to pressure shields or I want to pressure health. So my opponent actually decides to double shield right here, which is absolutely perfect. And this is where I make a mistake and kind of ends up costing me the game at the end there. So I decided not to shield this one. I potentially could have shielded and gotten off another Earthquake, but I decided to come back in with Swampert. I decided to fire off the Hydro Cannon straight away because I do not want to take any damage from a potential charge move coming from this Metagross. But unfortunately, Hydro Cannon doesn't KO and then he's able to get off a charge move. I'm going to shield anyway because Swampert is my MVP and I need to preserve it at all costs. It ends up being Psychic. Thankfully, we didn't get a defense debuff. And then out comes Dialga. This is absolutely perfect for us. I'm able to get off this Earthquake right here. This is definitely going to one-shot Dialga. I'll come close to one-shotting it. And then just a couple of mud shots will do it. And then I'm trying to switch right here, hoping to catch the Rock Slide with the Dragonite because I just want to sack the Dragonite at this point because it's basically useless at this stage of the game, especially against a Melmetal, but I'm able to catch the second charge move and it ends up being Superpower, which is absolutely perfect for me because at this point my opponent has lowered his attack and defense. So these Dragon Claws and Dragon Breaths, even though they're resisted, they're definitely adding up to this debuffed Melmetal. It's going to throw a Rock Slide. This is probably not going to do as much as it would if not for the debuff. It doesn't take us out. I'm able to get to another Dragon Claw. I'm really optimistic at this point. But unfortunately, the fact that it didn't take us out really allowed him to farm. This is where my opponent makes a really amazing play right here. He decides to farm up to two charge moves and then he fires off one right here. And at this point, I kind of anticipated that as soon as I would bring my Swampert out, he would have another charge move ready, and he did. And then he actually goes for the Superpower to get rid of my Swampert. So this is actually a very good game by my opponent, so let's move on to the next one. That was the one we lost, and then, yeah, we just managed to come back from that and win 4, so let's get into those battles. So we're up against a Metagross, again, a very bad lead. I just keep losing leads at this point, so my aim is to catch the Meteor Mash with my Metagross. I don't want to switch into Swampert because I don't want to give up my hardest counter. If my opponent decides to switch, it's fine because I want to potentially line up my Swampert against this Metagross. But he actually, I think, decides to stay in this battle. He gets off a Meteor Mash right here. I'm trying to... I don't know, I probably could have just fired off that Meteor Mash. I don't know what I was doing there. I decided to overfarm just a little bit and then go for the Meteor Mash. Okay, so I really want to pressure shields. He's already given up one shield for the Meteor Mash. Let's see if he decides to double shield, which is absolutely fine for me because I'm able to get to another Meteor Mash as well. This is absolutely fantastic for me because, no, he decides to double shield right here. So I'm just going to let it go because I want to preserve this shield from my Swampert, and it ends up being an Earthquake, so that was a bit of a waste of energy right there because I was certainly in Meteor Mash range. And I bring my Swampert and he decides to swap immediately. He goes into Dragonite. I swap into Dragonite. I have loaded energy on my Dragonite because of the amount of time I spent charging up in that Metagross matchup. And when I'm ahead on energy and I'm also up a shield, so this is absolutely perfect for me. I have to get rid of this Dragonite because I cannot let this Dragonite go up against my Swampert because Swampert basically has no play against a Dragonite. I'm able to get off another Dragon Claw right here. Just to be safe, I probably could have farmed down, but I didn't want to take any chances. And then, yeah, out comes Snorlax, and I'm trying to get to this Dragon Claw right here, and he gets off a Body Slam. This is absolutely perfect for me because, I mean, I was worried about him potentially farming me down. But again, Swampert is back. Swampert's got a lot of energy from that Metagross matchup. I'm able to fire off this Earthquake. This Earthquake is going to do quite a bit of damage to Snorlax. It does about 40% of Snorlax hit, which is quite significant. And then he's able to get off a Body Slam right here. This is definitely going to hurt. Not going to take us out, but it's going to get us low. And then I'm able to fire off this Hydro Cannon. This isn't going to finish Snorlax. It's going to get it pretty low. But it's actually perfect for me because I'm able to farm him down and then hopefully build to a Hydro Cannon to get rid of this Metagross right here. Just so... That was very close. I'm pretty sure that Metagross was close to a charge move, but the fact that I was able to farm up on that Snorlax allowed me to fire off the Hydro Cannon against the Metagross. So GG's, very well played. So moving into the next battle right here, we are up against Weird Friendless. So again, Dragonite into Mewtwo this time. So this is a very interesting matchup. So typically what I do right here is I shield the first one, just anticipating what it is. Because I don't want to get hit by an Ice Beam or whatever, which is easily going to one-shot my Dragonite. He's actually building up on quite a bit of energy. I'm thinking that I put up a shield anyways because... and it ends up being a Shadow Ball. This is good because it's not that energy efficient compared to Psy Strike. He's not going to be able to spam it as quickly. Having said that, he gets off another Shadow Ball right here. I'm not going to shield because I don't want to go down 2 shields at the very beginning. I do want to save one of my shields for endgame. But I'm still able to take out this Mewtwo and maintain switch advantage, which is really critical at this point. And then he brings out his Dragonite and immediately deletes me, which is absolutely fine. I'm able to come back in with my Metagross. Metagross is basically going to resist all of Dragonite's moves. And then he makes an immediate switch into Metagross and I go into Swampert right here. So at this point, I'm just going to shield whatever they throw at me. I'm going to build up to a Hydro Cannon and an Earthquake. And I don't want to get hit by any charge move right here because I know I'm going to be easily able to outpace this Metagross. I'm going to go for the Hydro Cannon right here, hoping to get a shield, which I do. And this is absolutely fantastic because I'm very close to an Earthquake and I'm able to fire off this Earthquake before he can even get to a charge. But this is where Swampert comes in super clutch, guys. It's an absolutely awesome Pokemon and yeah, it just absolutely destroys towards the end of the game, especially when shields are down. It is so destructive. And I'm just trying to get off this Hydro Cannon to kill some time, and then I have a Medium Ash ready in my Metagross, which I can fire off immediately. They've got no more shields, so we're looking pretty good, and then I'm able to take out the Dragonite. So again, Swampert coming in super clutch for me, pretty much one-shotting a Metagross and setting the game for Metagross to finish off towards the end there. So again, I actually believe this is actually the second game in a row where Swampert comes in super clutch. Obviously didn't win the first one, but I managed to pull this off. Again, a very bad lead for us. This time, again, I'm trying to catch the Rock Slide with my Metagross, and I managed to do it this time. In the first game, my opponent actually decided to not... I mean, he didn't throw the charge move right away. He decided to hold up and store the energy, but this time he actually switches into a Swampert. This is not good for us. I'm just going to let it go actually because I just want to come back in with my Dragonite and start farming down on the Swampert. But it's just muddy water trying to lower my attack, and then they decide to put up shield for a Medium Ash anyways. This is okay, it's pretty good. I'm not going to shield anything on my Metagross. I'm just going to let it go at this point really. It's another muddy water. We managed to survive it. So I'm just going to try and get to an Earthquake right here, trying to hopefully do as much damage as I can. I'm obviously debuffed because of muddy water, and they decide to go into the double shield. Which is absolutely fine. I'm just going to let my Metagross go here because I can easily come back in with Dragonite and then easily farm down this Swampert. I do have to be wary of the switch because he can come back in with his Melmetal, but Melmetal basically has no energy because we managed to catch the Rock Slide with our Metagross. It doesn't matter what he throws at us, everything's going to be resisted. Muddy water it just tickles basically, and I'm just able to finish off with Dragon Breath. Then out comes Melmetal. I'm just going to try and fire off this Dragon Claw just to buy me some time. So hopefully I can make a switch. I'm just going to immediately make a switch to catch another Rock Slide and hope not the Superpower, because if I had swapped earlier, I would have had to stack a Superpower instead of a Rock Slide. And then he decides to make a switch into Groudon. This is absolutely perfect for me. Again, look, I'm ahead on energy. They've got no more shields. We have a shield, so I can easily shield up the Earthquake, and I'm definitely going to be able to get to the second Hydro Cannon before he can get off second Earthquake. So this is pretty much GG's. Again, another scenario where my opponent has 2 Pokemon at the back which are weak to Swampert. Again, Groudon and Melmetal. So out comes Melmetal. This is pretty much GG's anyways. He's probably going to try and bait with Rock Slide right here. I'm going to shield it up anyways because there's no way he's going to be able to get to the second charge move before I can get to an Earthquake. And even if he did, it's not going to take us out. So Swampert again taking the win. Swampert is a fantastic matchup against Melmetal because the Thunder Shocks are resisted because of the ground typing. So basically Melmetal is going to have to fire off those charge moves, and even then Thunderbolt and Rock Slide are resisted. So it's Superpower is basically the only play for a Melmetal against a Swampert, and even that lowers... a lot of people are hesitant to use it because of the debuffs. So when shields are when shields are there on my part, it's always a benefit for me. So we're up against Kyogre. Finally, I win the lead after 3 games. This is really good for us. Expecting a switch from my opponent right here. He goes into Dialga, and I go into Metagross. Again, I was slightly slow on that switch because I took a lot of damage from that Dragon Breath. Again, Dragonite is in the most tankiest of Pokemon, and Dragon Breath absolutely shreds. So I'm just going to put up a shield. It's Draco Meteor, which is absolutely fantastic for me because at this point, I'm able to lower, or my opponent has basically lowered his attack right here. And I'm going to build up to an Earthquake and go for a Meteor Mash because they're going to shield it up anyways. And then I'm trying to get this Earthquake, I believe. But I decided to put up a shield again, expecting another Draco Meteor. I actually wasn't counting properly. My opponent based me correctly right there. It ends up being an Iron Head. And then again, I'm trying to build up some extra energy and go for a Meteor Mash right here, hoping to get a shield. And I do, and immediately switch it to Dragonite and fire off the Dragon Claw. So I don't want to give him any time to think. I'm just going to try and hopefully KO this Dialga. Don't KO, but almost come close to it. Out comes Kyogre, which is absolutely fantastic for me because I'm able to fire off these Dragon Claws, thereby being able to eliminate this Kyogre. Because Dragon Breaths are absolutely shredding. Again, we've got no more shields. He's going to probably take us out with Surf at this point, which is absolutely fine. It's Thunder. This is great because he's basically expanded all his energy. And then I come back with Metagross because I already almost have a Meteor Mash loaded, and I just don't want to mess with Kyogre because both Metagross and Swampert have a pretty poor matchup against Kyogre, so it's a good thing that we got that thing out of here and immediately switch into Dialga. This is actually pretty dangerous because I switch on the charge move from Dialga. I was actually anticipating his third Pokemon to come in, but now he switches into Entei. This is absolutely fantastic for me. I'm ahead on energy, and when Swampert is ahead on energy, it's pretty much game over. So I'm able to get to the second Hydro Cannon easily before he's even able to get off his first charge move, and this is easily going to take out the Entei, and out comes Dialga and goes down to Mud Shots. So again, Swampert for the 4th game in a row, coming in super clutch. It's such an amazing Pokemon for closing out games, guys. I'm sure a lot of you have tried it, but yeah, then again, yeah, this is the set where we go 4-1. This is the first set where we go 4-1. Swampert again. Pretty much in every game, Swampert has basically helped me finishing off games. Like you saw there as well. In every single game, people are always going to have at least one Steel type. Because the Master League meta is so predictable, people are going to have at least 1 or 2 Steel type Pokemon and possibly another Ground or Rock type Pokemon as well. And if you can have Swampert at the back and line those Pokemon up when shields are down, it's going to be fantastic. So moving into the first battle of the second set right here. Again, we're going in with the same strategy of leading with Dragonite, leading Dragonite into Swampert. This is an absolutely amazing lead for us, but actually I end up losing this one. It was a kind of a tricky battle right here. My opponent played really well. Again, you know the drill. We just try and build up to an Earthquake and go for a Meteor Mash. He goes for the Draco Meteor. It's a good thing that I shielded that up because that would have done a lot of damage, and also my opponent has lowered his attack. So I'm going to go for a Meteor Mash right here, hoping to get a shield, which we do. And I'm trying to go for an Earthquake this time. No, actually I don't. So I decided to double shield again right here because I want to preserve my Metagross. Because I don't really want my next Pokemon coming in to take a lot of damage from those Dragon Breaths. So I'm going to go for another Meteor Mash right here, hoping to get a second shield, which we don't this time, which is absolutely fine. I'm going to try and farm this Dialga down before he's able to get off a charge move. We're basically down a shield, but we've got so much energy. I'm going to go for the Earthquake against the Swampert right here. This is basically going to pressure health or pressure shields. So he decides to let it go through, which is absolutely perfect for me. He's going to fire off a Hydro Cannon right here, which is great. But it doesn't matter anyways because I'm going to be able to come back in with Dragonite and just farm down the Swampert. Then he makes an immediate switch into Metagross and I go into Swampert. But the problem here is he's up a shield and I'm going to have to build up to a Hydro Cannon and an Earthquake, and I'm going to have to tank an Earthquake as well. So this Earthquake is going to do quite a bit of damage to Swampert. We're still going to be able to survive. So I'm going to build up a little bit extra energy and go for the Hydro Cannon, hoping to get a shield right here, which we do. And this is where I make a slight misplay because I feel like I could have gotten to this Earthquake. Bullet Punch wouldn't have KO'd. I could have probably gotten to the Earthquake and eliminated this Metagross, but I kind of chickened out and went for the Hydro Cannon instead. This basically allowed him to kind of farm up a little bit of energy on my Swampert, and then I go in with Dragonite, hoping to finish with the Dragon Claw and Dragon Breath damage, but we don't. Just look at how much health is left on this Metagross, and then he's just able to get to a Meteor Mash, and this is easily going to take us out from that range. So again, another set where we lose the first game, but we kind of come back strongly and get things back in order. So moving into the second battle right here, We're up against Enraku. Okay. So again, this is a very positive lead for us. Groudon's basically going to do nothing against Dragonite. Everything's going to be double resisted. He comes in with Mewtwo. And I'm going to try to switch to catch the Psy Strike right here, which we do. I don't know. This possibly could have been a Shadow Ball, but there's a little bit of lag right there. Luckily for me, it is a Psy Strike. So I'm going to try and get to this Meteor Mash. I decided to shield this up because I don't know if he has a Flamethrower or a Focus Blast. I don't want my Metagross to go down at this stage. It ends up being a Psy Strike again, so a bit of a waste of a shield right there, which is okay. And I go for the Meteor Mash. He's obviously going to shield this up. And I'm anticipating this time it could be possibly Flamethrower or Focus Blast, but no, it ends up being Psy Strike again. But there's actually a bit of a lag right here, and the shield that I put up doesn't get recorded. So that actually works out in my favor because I still have a shield, and it's a good thing because I didn't shield the Psy Strike. It wouldn't have done a lot anyways. But there's a little bit of lag. He's able to get off another charge move, which is kind of annoying. I guess that kind of makes up for it. But I know I didn't let it go through because we are double resistant to Psychic because of the Steel and Psychic typing on Metagross. And I'm able to get to another Meteor Mash. He decides to shield this up and then trying to farm me down, but I'm able to KO this Mewtwo. This is actually really good for us because Mewtwo can be very dangerous when it's got loaded energy. And then out comes Garchomp. This is really good for us because I'm able to go in with Dragonite again. Because Garchomp's basically going to have to get to Outrage to basically do any sort of damage against Dragonite. These Dragon Blitz are absolutely shredding. I'm immediately going to hide Swampert because I do not want to be behind on energy because Groudon can charge up energy pretty quickly and Earthquake is definitely going to take us out from this range. So I'm just going to go in and then I know I'm going to have to get off 2 Hydro Cannons against this Groudon. So here we go. We get the first one and then I'm easily going to be able to get to the second one because Swampert generates energy even faster. So this Hydro Cannon is definitely going to be able to take out this Groudon, and Garchomp's got a bunch of energy. He's going to basically have to use his charge move right here. There's no way he's going to be able to farm me down from this range. I was very close to Hydro Cannon, which would have KO'd if I had gotten it off. Actually, I almost get it off, but it's fine. We have a Dragon Claw on our Dragonite, and this is easily going to be able to take out this Garchomp. So Dragonite has a fantastic matchup against Garchomp because Garchomp has Mud Shot as its fast move, which is going to be double resisted, and these Dragon Breaths are absolutely going to shred. So again, that's the second battle of the second set right here, and then we're up, moving into the third battle. We're in a Dragonite mirror match. This is again another 100 IV Dragonite, I believe. So again, who wins the CMP tie is anybody's guess. I win the CMP tie in this occasion, so this is good for me. But I think he's able to get off another extra Dragon Claw worth of damage, and that kind of ends up helping him win the lead in this one. So we're both going to try and fire off Dragon Claws right here. He's going to be able to take me down. No, he decides to fire off a charge move right here. He's going to be able to take me down. No point shielding that up because even if I had done, I probably would have gone down anyways. So again, my opponent actually makes a key mistake of switching when Dragonite had pretty much only 1 HP. He probably could have stayed in that matchup because now he's given me switch advantage, which he probably would have won because he won the lead. So I'm just going to shield this up anyways. It ends up being an Earthquake, which is absolutely perfect for us. I'm just going to build up an extra energy, and you know the drill. I'm just going to go for the Hydro Cannon bait and then immediately go for another Earthquake before this Metagross is able to get off another charge move. So because Swampert generates energy so quickly, I'm going to be able to outpace this Metagross and easily take it out. I expect the Dragonite to come back in because Swampert basically has no play against Dragonite. So I'm trying to farm this thing down with Mud Shot, which is really hard because it is double resisted. This Dragon Claw is definitely going to hurt. Unfortunately, I'm going to try and switch it to Metagross, but unfortunately we're not able to do so. So I'm just going to go for Hydro Cannon against whatever comes in. It ends up being a Jirachi, which is absolutely perfect because my Metagross is already charged up and this Earthquake is easily going to KO this Jirachi because of its Steel typing. So again, GG is very well played. Swampert again coming in super clutch, getting rid of that Metagross in this game. Yeah, it is my MVP. So moving into the fourth battle, I believe, okay, so up against Carolina 45. We're in Dragonite against Giratina Origin. This is again another fantastic lead for us. We expect a swap right here straight into Togekiss. Now I go into Metagross. This is actually not a good idea for my opponent because typically anybody who leads with the Dragon is going to have a Steel type at the back for that coverage against those Charmers. This is absolutely fine. I still have to worry about the Flamethrower though. I'm going to fire off a Meteor Mash because I know he's going to shield because he's going to want to get off this Flamethrower anyways. But it ends up being an Ancient Power. So he's probably trying to get fish for the boost, which is okay. I'm going to be able to farm down at this point. This is where Metagross is so clutch when it comes up. I expect the Giratina Origin to come back in. I'm going to go for the Meteor Match straight away. This is going to do a heavy neutral damage to this Giratina Origin. He's going to try and farm me down, which is not good for us, but I'm able to get to the second Meteor Match. This is again going to do a lot of damage to this Giratina Origin. So he's actually basically farmed up on quite a bit of energy, which is not exactly great for us. So I'm going to go in with Dragonite, and I believe I let this go through. Yeah, I think I let this go through, hoping for an ominous win bait, but it ends up being Shadow Ball, which is absolutely fine. It still doesn't take us out, and we're going to be able to take this Giratina Origin out with Dragon Claw. I thought of farming down, but it was a bit risky because he's actually loaded up on a bunch of energy. Again, this is super clutch. Dialga comes in. He's got no more shields. I have one shield. This is just game set match right here. Again, this is another classic example of how clutch Swampert can be. This is a classic meta line of Giratina Origin, Togekiss and Dialga. Three of arguably the best Pokemon in Master League, and this team actually does really well. In spite of, I guess, yeah, we did win the lead this time, but it was, again, Swampert just showcasing how strong it can be as a Dialga counter towards endgame. Again, a fantastic lead with Machamp this time. He switches into his Mew. This is very interesting. So, again, with Mew, you're never sure about what charge moves it has. I'm going to have to shield up anyways because it's got a wide variety of moves. So I'm gonna get off another Dragon Claw right here. This Mew is basically farming up on a lot of energy. I'm just gonna shield up the first one just to see what it is because I don't want my Dragonite to get one shot. It ends up being a Dark Pulse. And then he's gonna get off another Charge Move, and I think this is another Dark Pulse and let it go, but it ends up being an Ice Beam. This is easily gonna one-shot the Dragonite right here, which is not good for us, but yeah, I mean, we're not looking great because I'm going to try and bring back my Metagross. Again, I do have to watch out for the Dark Pulse. He comes with the Darkrai. This is not good for us. Metagross is going to be weak to Dark because of the Psychic typing. I'm going to try and get off this Meteor Mash because Darkrai is so glassy, he's going to shield anyways. Immediately switch into Swampert and hopefully land an Earthquake. He's still switch locked right here. We do have a shield. I'm definitely shielding this up because, again, anything that comes out of this Darkrai is going to do a lot of damage. It ends up being a Focus Blast, which is good that we shielded that up anyways. And then we're going to go and fire off an Earthquake. This is easily going to KO this Darkrai. I'm expecting the Machamp to come back in, yes, and I'm going to try and get off this Earthquake right here. Cross Chop is going to do quite a bit of damage. It's going to be very close. Basically, I'm going to have to get off this Earthquake because Metagross will be left with too much work to do otherwise. I'm able to get off this Earthquake, get this Machamp incredibly low, so he's going to basically have to use this Charge Move right here. Which is good for me because I'm going to be able to come down with Metagross and farm down this Machamp. We still have a lot of health, but I'm still wary of this Mew. It's probably got a Dark Pulse loaded, and I'm like, okay, I actually thought I'm going to lose this game because Mew had a Dark Pulse loaded, but we actually managed to survive this Dark Pulse with just a sliver of health, and we're able to take out this Mew. This was a really spicy team with Mew and Darkrai. With a very spicy moveset as well. So shoutouts to that trainer. GG's, very well played. That was actually a pretty close game right there. And yeah, another 4-1 in this set. So again, a fantastic couple of sets right there where we went 4-1. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. So I mean, yeah, this team has a lot of potential in terms of being able to dominate in Master League. I think these are obviously some rank 8 battles, but I see potential for this team to dominate even at the higher ranks. Also with the introduction of Premier Cup, where no legendaries are allowed, I think this team would fare really well because they complement each other's weaknesses really well. I mean, to have a Dragon, Steel and a Mudboy, I think it's a fantastic combination. And then just having Swampert at the back end is so clutch because so many people like to have Melmetal and Dialga, etc. towards the back end, and Swampert can absolutely nuke. Although that can change slightly a little bit now because a lot of people might run Palkia and that could be a little bit tricky for Swampert.
But I think for the most part, Dialga and Melmetal are both very prevalent in Master League, and then Metagross is very prevalent in the Premier Cup as well. There's Rhyperior. There's so many Pokemon that are actually potentially weak to Swampert. You have Magnezone. You have so many other Steel, Ground, Rock type Pokemon, even Tyranitar. So Swampert can do really well in those situations. So yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to test this team out in Premier Cup as well when it comes about. So yeah, I mean, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like it, please give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you soon.